So you're probably wondering how I have tons of fun in Asia while on a budget, and we're starting right now. What's up travel heads, Brian here with Life of BD bringing you the best travel hacks and tips to prepare you for your upcoming travel. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. So you got the expensive part out of the way. Now I'm going to tell you what to avoid and what to gravitate towards so you can enjoy your Southeast Asia trip on a budget. Avoid doubling down on a tour. It's okay to go on a tour. It's cheaper to go on a group tour. But what you should avoid doing is doubling down on a tour. What I mean by that is when you're at a tour and they have these extra things to do, like you're at a boat tour and they say, hey, you can go scuba diving or snorkeling for this extra price, this and that. Avoid it because it's extra fun and plus you're on a budget. So what do you gravitate towards? Enjoy your current tour that you paid for and just absorb the scene. No need to pay extra to do other things that will cut your time to absorb the ambiance. Avoid dining in restaurants in Southeast Asia may not be as expensive as America, but there are many cheaper ultimatums. Gravitate towards the city and walking around every corner and checking out all those street food around. Average price for street food is like 50 cents to $1.50. Plus when traveling in Southeast Asia, trying out the street food is a must. It's part of feeling the ambiance of the country you are visiting. Avoid renting a car in Southeast Asia can be costly and time consuming. Southeast Asia is filled with traffic all around. I've never driven a car around there because there is too much stress around with all the mopeds just cutting you off and everything else. You should gravitate towards downloading the app Grab. It's also like Uber, but it also does mopeding around in Southeast Asia. Most of Southeast Asia will have this app Grab, and it's very cheap also. Or take a train from one city to another. Avoid drinking alcohol, as we know is expensive, and in Southeast Asia it's probably watered down. You should gravitate towards replacing alcohol for smoothie or coffee, but please do avoid the ice because the bacteria from the water, I would not trust the ice. You know what's funny? I'm wearing this shirt because I went to Southeast Asia for 7 weeks and this was one of the main shirts that I wore out of my 4 or 5 shirts that I only had. But this is one of the shirts. Avoid. If it does not have a price tag, do not purchase right away. You should gravitate towards your haggling skills. I hope you have some haggling skills because you are going to want to bargain with those street vendors. I had many experiences in Southeast Asia where I had to haggle because I knew I was getting ripped off in some way. I would give them a price and if they say no to it, I would walk away slowly to see if they're still interested and try to grab me and get me back on. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. If they won't, then I'm just going to walk away because I don't like to get ripped off. Avoid. Booking a hotel can be expensive, especially in the downtown area. Try gravitating towards an Airbnb where you can stay at a place that's local and you can have that local ambiance and the vibe and it's cheaper. Or try a hostel. You know that I've talked about hostels several times in my stories on YouTube, so check out all those videos. But yeah, hostels are really cheap, but they're more for solo travelers. You can even do double travelers. You guys just won't be sharing beds, but you should try it out anyways. One of those ways. Cheaper accommodation. What are you asking for? This is budget Southeast Asia tips, don't forget. And those are just a few things to be aware while budgeting in Southeast Asia. If you're curious of my spending during my travels, then come back in a few days for my next video that I'll be doing, which is on my trip in Taiwan that I took back in February. I got enough time to rack up all my information and how much I spent and where I went, each place and where I spent airfare, everything, and it still came out cheaper than an average airfare price to Taiwan. What are a few things you avoid and gravitate towards while having fun and budgeting in your travel? Let me know in a comment below. And if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that bell button. Thank you, and until then.